Hi. Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing? All right. So let me quickly come on live. Can you hear me? All right. I think I'll increase. Let me quickly come on live so that I can finish up this live stream. I've been postponing this live stream. Guys. Like, yeah. Let me do it like this. I hope you guys can see me very well. I hope it's not too dark. So I've been postponing this live stream, guys, and I was like, today being Sunday, I must come on live. Nothing will stop me from coming on live today. Oh my God! Even when power went off, I had to look for other means of getting power because I have to come on live. It's been a while we interacted here on my channel. So you're coming in, like this live stream, and share as well. So let me share to my let me share the live stream. It's been a while that I did Sunday live stream. How are you guys doing? Happy weekend. How is your Sunday going? So I'm going to start off with I hope you guys can see me very well though. I hope it's clear. Okay. I hope it's clear. Please, if it's not clear, let me know. And you can hear me very well. If you can hear me very well, let me know as well. Maybe I'll do it like this so that you guys can see me very well. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. Alright, so please, you're coming in, like the live and share as well. I've shared to my community. Alright, so please like and share. And I'm going to start off with there are two topics for today's live stream. I'm not going to waste much time today because I have work tomorrow. Okay, at least 30 minutes we're out of here. Alright, so please, you're coming in, like the live stream, like I said, and try and interact because I want us to interact. It's been a while that I did a live stream on Sunday, and the other day I did a live stream yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. And I was like, I have not come on live for 1 month, guys. Like, seriously, I didn't even know that I've not been active on live stream for 1 month, but I've been posting videos back to back. And so we're currently in the Miss Grand season. So please, guys, go and watch my Miss Grand videos. So the national costume, I think national costume is tomorrow, and the prelims will be later in the week. Okay, so I'm going to be coming on live to react to those segments as well. All right, so today's live stream, we have two topics. First of all, I'll start off with the loss we had in the pageant industry. I think that was on the 1st of October. Was it 1st? 29th of October. So 29th of September, rather, we had there was a sort of a loss, and an ex-beauty queen, was unalived by armed robbers. Okay, and I was like, I'm going to talk about it on my channel. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to react to it, and I want to say my condolences. I want to talk about my condolences. In fact, I want to pass across my condolences to the families of Miss Somto Chukwumaduago. She was unalived on the 29th of September, and the cause of it was because her apartment was invaded by armed robbers, and she had to jump from to escape the robbery attack. Okay, so it was a very, very, very huge loss to the pageant world. A lot of beauty queens, paid their respect to her, and also she was a lawyer. It was a loss as well to the Nigerian Bar Association. In fact, it was a general loss to to the nation, because she was also a news anchor for Arise TV, and she represented Nigeria in Miss Tourism World in the year 2023. Yes, 2023. I remember her very well. Then I was not really you know active on YouTube, but I think yes, I remember when she represented Nigeria. Yeah, she went on to China to represent the country in the Miss Tourism World, and she did very well. And it was a huge loss when um, it was a huge loss when the news broke. And it's so painful because this lady has a lot to offer to the nation, and her life was just cut short because of senseless people that don't think with their head. And I'm so happy that those persons, the robbers have been caught. I think not all, but I think about few, in fact majority of them have been caught, and they confessed to the crime, and they also narrated their own part of what happened and all that, and it's so painful. I feel for for her parents. I feel for her colleagues as well, for those of us that for those persons that really they were close to her. I feel for them because it was a huge loss. She was such a good, she was a very promising lady. She had a lot, to offer the country, and her life was just cut short. I feel so sad. I feel so, so sad for her friends, her acquaintances, and also her parents. Is such a colossal loss to the nation, and I want to say, pass across my condolences, and we pray that such thing never happens again. It's very painful because such a thing, can happen to anyone. And I feel like at that state that she was just in a state of panic, and she had to jump from her flat down to escape the robbers, and I think that was what led to her demise. Anyway, enough being said about her, and I pray that her soul, in fact, I pray her soul rest in perfect peace. Okay, all right, yeah, let's get on to the next gist. Miss South Africa organization has been going through a lot this period, and first of all, I want to talk about the fact that they postponed the national pageant to 23rd of October. I mean, it was 20 something of, I think it's 26th of October. After a lot of postponements, they've been postponing the pageant, and they finally announced the date to be 26th of October. And a lot of persons are like, how will the winner be able to prepare for Miss Universe? Because you guys know Miss Universe is next month, and a lot of countries have already started departing, for Miss Universe contest. Maybe they are going to prepare in other countries en route Thailand. So Miss South Africa now released a statement after they issued, after they talked about the dates. They released a statement saying that the representative, that's the winner for this year's pageant, will not compete in Miss Universe. So I'm like, why didn't they say it earlier on? Why didn't they now make provision for either appoint, they could have appointed somebody else to represent the country, because this is going to be the second time that South Africa will be absent as Miss Universe. You guys remember that Mia withdrew last minute, during the Miss Universe contest last year. She withdrew from the competition. I think that was during the prelims. So South Africa did not compete last year, and this year they did not compete. They're not competing again. What is happening? What is happening to South Africa? And also, I heard that one of the contestants withdrew from the competition because allegedly, they claimed that she was a bully. So, a lot of things happen. So I don't really understand what is happening in South Africa. I feel like they would have made an appointment if they knew that they could not meet up with Miss Universe. They would have appointed. Beforehand, maybe appointed last month or in August, because normally they usually hold the pageant in August. They would have, made an appointment and said, we cannot hold the pageant on time. So let us appoint somebody that will be able to represent the country. So right now, South Africa will not be represented in Miss Universe, which is which is a sad one. I feel for the South African fans. This is the second time that they will not be competing. And I feel like South Africa is an organization that has been so consistent in Universe, and for them not to attend, to me, it's somehow, I feel sad for the South African fans. A lot of them have been complaining, on social media. They've been, okay, they've been complaining, they've been, venting out their anger, and I feel like at this point, it's something that they would have been able to sort out before this whole thing happened. Before they changed the date, they would have been able to sort it out. They have a lot of other queens that they would have chosen from. There's a lot of past queens that have represented the country previously in other pageants. They would have been able to thank you. I'm on live stream. Sorry guys. Yeah, sorry guys for that interruption. So they would have been able to choose amongst the other queens that have represented the country before, because I know that the other queens that would have done the job perfectly, within this period of time, at least they would have been able to prepare for the competition. But right now, South Africa does not have any representative, and for me, it's I feel like it's a sad one. It's a sad one for them. It's a sad one for the fans. Okay, but I feel the organization would have been able to pick somebody. They would have been able to make an appointment, beforehand. So that is one of the things I want to talk about. And also one of the contestants, like I said, one of the contestants, I think it's Lebo. I've forgotten her name. Is it Lebo Hang or something? I don't know her name, Sha. Let me not talk too much because I don't want to pronounce a wrong name. She withdrew from the competition because I think it was alleged that she bullied somebody in the past, blah blah blah. She had a very kind of a rough record, and she withdrew from the competition. That also sparked a lot of controversy, and I feel like at this point, if a contestant in a competition, or a contestant that is built to participate in the beauty pageant competition, if she's accused of bullying, I don't think it's a good thing, or I don't think it's wise for her to continue with the pageant, because bullying is against the ethics of being a beauty queen. You understand? So being a beauty queen, you need to be of good character. So if your character, if you have a question, guys, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. So one of my subscribers, can you hear me now? Please, can you hear me? Let me know. So one of my subscribers actually made a comment before now, and he said, I'd mentioned on Miss Criticizer's page that it was not possible to crown a queen on the 25th of October and send her to Miss Universe in November. Okay, except they have handpicked and groomed. Okay, maybe wanted to say groomed her beside. Okay, so this was one of my subscribers, Mr. Xavier. Yeah, you guys know him now. So he made this comment, he's dropped this comment. Hello, Miss Criticizer, how are you doing? Okay, you say you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, thank you. So apparently the pageant is going to be held on the 25th of October, not 26th, like I said before. Okay, so like he mentioned, he has a valid point here. There's no way that you choose a date. You choose a date which is 25th of October for the pageant, for the grand finale of the pageant, and the whoever is going to be crowned will now participate in the pageant in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because you guys know Miss Universe is in November. The girls should be arriving camp from the 5th of November. They should be in camp as from the 5th of November. So you can't crown a lady on the 25th and expect her to compete. So I understand that part. it's not going to work out at all. Even if you crown the best lady, there's no how or there's no way she's going to be ready in 2 weeks or 1 week before the pageant starts. It's not possible. So I understand that part. Then also, if they knew that they were going to postpone the pageant, like I said before, they would have, made an appointment. Okay, so Miss Priscilla is saying that this is like the second person that has stepped down in Miss Essie. I didn't even know before now. Thank you for the information. I didn't, because when I saw that particular lady, what's her name? I think she was already unveiled in the top 10 before, I found out that, oh, she had issues, and she in fact, she was the one that stepped down. She stepped down because a lot of persons, now, it will raise a lot of issues. So persons were, clamoring for her to step down. So she had to step down because the allegations against her, they were huge. So when it comes to being a beauty queen, if you are accused of bullying, accused of some, setting like bullying and the rest, let me say, it's not all about bullying. There are so many other things. I think there was other things that they accused her of aside from bullying. But bullying was the one that I saw or that I heard about. I don't know if there's any other thing, but I think when you are accused of bullying, it's a very, very serious offense as a beauty queen. You expected to adhere to some of the rules and ethics of being a beauty queen. Bullying is against the ethics of being a beauty queen. So I think it's a huge offense. So she had to step down. Say they could as well gone on a hiatus this exactly. If they knew that they would not be able to meet up, they would have just ended. They wouldn't have even had a pageant, or they would have postponed it till next year. They can have the pageant in January next year. At least whoever they are going to be crowned will have enough time to prepare. So I feel like they wanted to have the pageant this year, but whoever is going to be crowned will not be able to participate this year. That is just it. And I hope that they've told the ladies so. I hope they told them that whoever is going to be crowned will not be able to compete, so that at least the ladies will plan their schedule or plan themselves. Because somebody cannot just be waiting for 8 months or 1 year to participate in the pageant when she was crowned, this year. She will now wait till next year and participate. What if she had other plans? What if she had, things to do? So she will not be waiting till next year November before she'll be able to participate in the pageant. I hope they told them beforehand. But all the same, they decided to hold the pageant this year. I would say that they have their valid reasons why they decided to hold the pageant. Probably they want to continue, with the yearly, yearly thing. But at the end of the day, they would have made arrangements to appoint somebody else to participate in the pageant, in the Miss Universe pageant, if they knew that they would not be able to meet up. That is my own suggestion. Because for me, I feel like, for South Africa not to participate in the second year, it's a sad one. It's not good for them at all. Because I know how consistent they've been, But I'm looking forward to the pageant because I know that Miss South Africa, they always come up with a lot of new innovations every year, and I can't wait to see how they are going to hold the pageant. But mind you, this is a new organization, so probably they might make some changes. There might be some changes in production, changes in the way they do the whole pageant thing. But I think they are still going to have. I think they still continue with their what they call it. There's something they usually do. What they call that thing again? You guys should remind me. The reality show. Yes, reality show. They still have the reality show and every other thing they do. So I don't know what's going to change this year, but I feel like a lot might likely change because this is a new organization. So they might bring in their own concept, their own whatever they want to do. So I'm waiting. I'm eagerly waiting for the pageant this year. I think it's on the 25th of October. So it's in a few weeks from now. Okay, so let's see how it's going to play out and who is going to be crowned this year's Miss South Africa. Okay. All right, so that's it, guys. If you have any other contribution, let me know as regards the whole Miss South Africa drama. Okay, because I'll be ending the live stream very soon. I don't have much to say. So tomorrow is likely going to be Miss Grand national costume, I guess, national costume competition. I think it's tomorrow, maybe that tomorrow or Tuesday, but I feel like we're going to be having the after the national costume, we're going to be having the preliminary competition as well, and the finals, the grand finale will take place later this week. So I will try as much as possible to come on live, to react to the national costume and the prelims and also the finals as well. And yeah, that's it for today's live stream. So thank you all for joining me today. Miss Criticizer, thank you so much. I see what you're doing. Yes, you're doing a lot in terms of talking about the Miss Grand competition. Yes, I saw your last video, and for me personally, I think that it's going to be between Miss Tanzania, Ghana, and Zambia. Those are the three countries I'm looking forward to. Or those are the countries that I'm actually predicting that they might place. But like we said, Miss Grand might pull up a surprise like they did last year. So I'm not I'm not I'm not totally putting my hope on the fact that we might place. So I don't know. It's up to Nawat and what's her name, Madam Teresa. Divine, how are you doing? It's been a while though, Divine. How far now? How far? How are you doing? He said, I agree. Tanzania has her country backing. She got most popular vote. Yes, she said it in her interview. And I think she got the popular vote in is it Power of the Nation and be Power of the something. There's one segment like that. I think it's Power Country. Yeah, Power Country. She got to the top 20, and I think her country, they are voting for her and they are supporting her. I think she has a lot of influencer friends back home in Tanzania. So they are trying to gather a lot of vote for her. So I'm happy for her. I'm happy that at least she has the backing of her country. Here in Nigeria, I don't think a lot of persons are voting for Nigeria because me, I will say it as it is. So a lot of persons are not really Miss Grand fans here in Nigeria. Because of what happened. A lot of persons have just lost hope in Miss Grand. So I'm not really seeing persons voting for her here in Nigeria. So I don't think that she's going to canvass a lot of votes. She said, meaning she might automatically go through to top 20. Definitely, if she gets a lot of votes, she might get to top 20. So Divine said, it's been a while though. I lost my dad and so many professional exams. Oh, I'm so sorry, Divine. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My condolences. I'm so sorry. May his soul rest in perfect peace. It is well. It is well. Be strong. Eh? It's not easy. I understand how it is, suffering a loss and writing your professional exams. It's not easy. The Lord is your strength, okay? Just hold on to God and, keep being strong, okay? It is well. It is well. The Lord will see you through. Ms. Kodeta said, only way I see Zambia making it to the top 10 is if she wins talent show. Did she make it to the top 16? I think she make it to the top 16. I think she made it. Yeah, she made it to the top 16. But if she can, advance further, she might make it. But at least those are the three countries that I'm seeing. Like I mentioned, she's another strong contender for me, Sha. From the African region. But if she can make it to the talent show, at least she's sure of making it to the top 20. Okay, she did. Okay, she did. Yeah, she did. She did. But I've not really been following up with the talent show. So I think I'll follow up. I've not really been following up. He said, I miss your pageant gist to Miss Grand with drama. Like seriously, like I was saying it yesterday that it's been a while that I came on live. I've not been consistent with live stream. But at least with this grand pageant drama, of course, I will try as much as possible to come in on live now. Yeah, it's been a while. This is the pageant season. We have a lot to do this period. We have Miss Earth coming up, Miss Universe, Miss Cosmo. So it's going to be a lot this period. Miss International, here. Thank you for reminding me. My sister just reminded me, said Miss International is coming up. So there's a lot of things coming up this period. In fact, 4 pageants in a row. So we are going to be very busy. He said, why is it that all the pageants are happening at the same time? That is how it is. So towards the end of the year, it's always like that. It's always like that. Towards the end of the year, you have a lot of pageants taking place back to back, back to back. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm going to share myself into 4 places this period. So Miss Grant, there's a lot of things happening. That's how Zimbabwe. I don't know if you guys watch my other video. Miss Zimbabwe said that she has not been getting the recognition. Okay, she grants interviews and they don't post her interviews. All the pageant bloggers, they just sidelined her from the competition. Okay, they might interview her and they don't even post her interview. So she alleged that she has been mistreated by the Miss Grand organization and also the other pageant bloggers and fans. She talked about that in her video, in one of her live streams that she did. You guys, I don't know if you guys watched my previous videos. I talked about it as well. And also Miss Nigeria, she said she suffered a health scare. I think she had ulcer attack during the swimsuit competition. So there's a lot of things happening in Miss Grand, and I'm like, if you know that you are an ulcer patient, and you want to you skip your meals because according to what she said, she didn't eat enough, and she had an ulcer attack. If you know that you are an ulcer patient and you want to be at your best, you need to be able to know the type of food to eat. You understand? She complained of not eating enough. If you know that you want to be at your best, then you have to be able to eat, even if it's taking fruits. Like I mentioned in that video, you have to stay away from acidic fruits, things that will spike your your ulcer. Acidic fruits are not good for ulcer patients. So try as much as possible to eat fruits that are not acidic, fruits that that will help you out. Because even if you don't eat much, at least you can take snacks. She can take snacks. So that is, that was my own suggestion to her. Because right now, if you want to be at your best, you have to be able to, you have to eat well. You have to prioritize your health. Not because you want to please your, or you want to be your best, or you want to be active, because she was mentioning that she wanted to be active, that's why she skipped her meal. You have to be able to prioritize your health first when it comes to pageant. What if she went on stage and she now collapsed? God forbid, she collapsed on stage because she was trying to be active and she missed taking her dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever it is. So she needs to prioritize her health, because right now a lot of persons are saying that she's not really being herself. So idea, prioritize your health too, because we that are pageant fans, anything happen to you, we'll move on. We can only come out and say, oh sorry, or we can only condone with you or condone with your family when anything happens. God forbid anything happens, and life goes on. Everybody will move on with their lives. But you that is being that is being affected, what happens to you at the end of the day? So you have to prioritize your health. Your health comes first. So she shouldn't be skipping her meals if she knows she's an ulcer patient. Because you want to be active, you now skip your meal. What if she goes onto the stage and she now collapses? So that's it though. He said do more YouTube videos. I don't understand, Miss Christiana. Do more YouTube videos. I don't understand. Please expatiate. So that is it. That is that for Miss Nigeria. So Miss Zimbabwe was saying that a lot of pageant fans are not really pageant bloggers. They are not. They don't really prioritize her. She grants interviews and they don't post her interviews and all. And I don't really understand. You know what happened behind closed doors. What happened over there in Thailand. But I feel like if she's being sidelined by the bloggers, that means there's a reason why, or probably she's not really out there. I cannot really tell the major reason, but I feel like if she's being sidelined, it's not a good sign at all. It's not a good sign if she's being sidelined by pageant bloggers or by the Miss Grand organization. It's not good at all. And I feel like at this point there shouldn't be any segregation. You shouldn't segregate any country. Every country has equal rights for them to, they have equal right for them to be able to, for their contestants to be seen. They all have equal rights. So if they are sidelining a particular contestant or if they are sidelining a particular country, it's not a good sign at all. So Miss Grant should look into it. They should investigate the issue and issue a statement saying that, oh, they did not sideline Miss Zimbabwe, or rather it was an oversight on the part of the bloggers or the part of the whatever or whoever is in charge. So that is just it. Because if it continues like this, that means Miss Grant, there's going to be another scandal. So I think at this point they should issue a statement saying it was an oversight, or probably it wasn't it wasn't, or whatever happened between Zimbabwe and the bloggers or whoever. It's not the Miss Grand International. They are not but they were not the reason, or they were not part of the particular complaint by Miss Zimbabwe. I think they should address it. They should issue a statement and address it. That is just my own take on that issue. And also I would say kudos to the contestants, the African contestants. They've done their best, and I feel like they've put in a lot of hard work, and I wish them the best of luck. That's what I can say for now. And I cannot really, I might not make a prediction. I might not really predict, but I might just talk about my standouts. I might not really predict general, what I mean by prediction, general prediction, because I'm not really conversant with the other countries. Let me not lie. I've not really been following up with the other countries aside from the African countries. I've not really been following up with the other continents, but I've seen a lot of interviews from prominent candidates like Philippines. I've seen interviews from Miss Guatemala. I think she's having a lot of fans. Ecuador as well. Who else again is getting momentum? Miss Indonesia. Miss Indonesia is one of the candidates that a lot of other contestants are predicting that she might win Miss Grand. Okay, they are because they were asked the question, who do you think or who do you want to win, or who do you think is your candidate to win? Okay, they asked the contestants, and most of them were saying most of them mentioned Indonesia. So I think Indonesia is another strong candidate. I've seen one or two of her videos. She's very beautiful. She's very eloquent, and I feel she can make the cut. She can go very far in the competition. But aside from that, I've not really been following the other candidates from other countries aside from the African continent. So I cannot really tell. I might not really do a general prediction, but let's see how it goes. But I might not really have time to do other predictions. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. So guys, I'll see you all tomorrow, or when we have the national costume, maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow, I don't know, but I'll try as much as possible to come on live. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and good night everyone. Miss Criticizer, Divine, thank you for joining me, and Divine, my condolences. Okay, be strong, and and I know you would. This too shall pass. That's just what I can say to you. Just be strong, and I'll see you all in my next video, either my next video or my next live stream. Okay, good night everyone, and I'll see you very soon.